Kia ora folks, welcome to the FWW Podcast. My name's Tommy. I'm a father, I'm a musician, I'm a medicine person, I'm a counsellor. And I do this podcast to try and be of service. I talked in an episode about how the person who was my mentor in recovery died of a heroin overdose after relapsing. He would have been about 20 years clean when he relapsed, maybe 16 years clean. I told you guys in another episode how he was rock and roll, man. He was fucking punk rock, through and through, man. He had a way of talking about recovery shit, 12-step recovery stuff that was fucking badass. He just changed everything around. He was subversive. Instead of like doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do or because you have to do it, he'd like make you feel like, yeah, fucking going home and doing the right thing was the best thing you could possibly do. Going and apologizing to your mum or going and making amends or giving up your last $100 to pay back the dairy that you ripped off while you're doing your fucking, step work, your 12-step work. Like he wouldn't just do the right thing. It was like he made doing the right thing feel like like you wanted to do the right thing. Like you couldn't think of anything more fun than going and giving your last $100 to the dairy, to pay back the time you ripped them off when you were fucking high on benzos or some shit. There's so many different things that he said to me that have become fundamental aspects of the way I see the world. And there's two things he said to me that this morning make more sense to me now than ever. And they're two of the things he said that at the time, and probably for most of the time since, I never really agreed with. First one was, he said, Tommy, if you ever get into a fight, like a real fight, he said, there's no fucking code of honor in a real fight, man. He said, in a street fight, the only rule is do whatever the fuck it takes to win. He said, pick up a brick and make them unconscious. He said, if you find yourself in a real fight, don't think that people don't kick each other in the nuts or bite or pull hair because it's sissy. He said, in a real fight, you do whatever the fuck it takes to win. I was shocked. I was 14 at the time. Because I first got clean when I was 14. I got 7 months up when I was 14. I'd never been in a fight in my fucking life. I got beaten up by a couple of really staunch Maori girls in my primary school. But that was about as close. I was just trying to defend myself. I was scratching my fucking eyes out. Yeah. But I didn't really come from violence, And I grew up in a poor school, working class school. But I wasn't around a lot of violence. Thank fuck for that. And I was shocked that he would encourage me to kick someone in the nuts or scratch them or fucking bite them or pull their hair or pick up a brick or smash a bottle and stab them in the fucking, what? He meant it. He wasn't trying to shock me. And the other thing was, I talked about this on the other podcast when I had a crisis of faith. Instead of telling me, oh, don't worry, Tommy, your faith will come back, he told me the universe doesn't give a shit about you. And I talked about how that, there is no God and the universe doesn't give a fuck about you. I talked about how that was really important to me and stuff. So I'm not going to repeat that now. But I'm going to talk about how my view of life, of what is going on here in space-time, has been framed permanently by a whole bunch of media. All these cartoons as a child, all these TV shows as an older child and as a teenager, all these movies and songs as a man in my 20s, these novels, and the type of stuff I've exposed myself to has said, we're all doing our best. Down here in space-time, we are all doing our best. Humans are inherently good, and they love you, and they will look after you. And if Nick Cave comes out with the song People Just Ain't No Good, he's kind of being ironic, because obviously people really are good. The fact that 8 billion of us are squabbling over one piece of pie, while a few thousand white men share the other 9 pieces of the pie, and the rest of us are fighting each other for that one last piece. That's just a happy coincidence. And those men who were in that position, they got there by virtue. They were just smart with their money. They just made better choices than the rest of us. They just worked harder. Obviously, I've never believed it that much. But to a certain degree, I've been sold a bill of goods. There's a fucking plane going overhead right now. You guys can probably all hear it on the audio. It's fucking annoying. Normally, I wouldn't complain about that shit, because I'm such a nice person. I don't complain about shit. But I'm not feeling nice right now. And I've always believed that we're all good, we're all doing our best. Even fucking pedophiles deserve a second chance. You know, no one's beyond redemption, no one's beyond hope. You know, there's no such thing as evil, there's just people who had trauma and la da la da la. The history of human civilization, though. And look, I also have known that humans are inherently selfish, and I have worked with clients to get over this horrible feeling, but we're all selfish, and I'm a selfish person. I said, look, we all are selfish, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. We have to be selfish because we're here knowing what our needs and what our wants are, and other people are over there knowing what their needs and their wants are. So we can't advocate for theirs, we'd have to be telepathic, and they can't advocate for ours, they'd have to be telepathic. So it's inherent in our genealogy and our whakapapa that we are a bit selfish, that I'll advocate for me and you advocate for you, and I'll advocate for my kids because they're too young to advocate for themselves. And together we'll try and look after the ones who are older and younger and who have disabilities, etc., etc. Like it's not as evil or dark as it looks, right? Like it's not too scary. But the truth is the history of humanity is fucking brutal. We just navigate time killing and raping and stealing and polluting and destroying. The whole way we survive is by killing other animals to eat. The whole way we have shelter is by chopping down plants and forests so that we can fucking build shelter. Our existence, by its very nature, has been destruction. War, rape, slavery, destroying the environment to make a little bit more money for the shareholders. The history of humanity is of absolute selfishness, at the cost of immense suffering on animals, on the environment, and on people who are less fortunate. That is the reason we've been so successful. The reason humans were the most successful and became the king of the animal kingdom was because of cooperation. We learned how to collaborate and how to cooperate with each other. We didn't do it out of altruism. We didn't do it out of kindness and love and sweet, warm, fluffy feelings. We did it because otherwise the fucking lion was going to get us. We worked together to kill the lion, not because we were generous or kind, but because we needed to kill the fucking lion. And once we'd killed the fucking lion, we went and killed all the fucking deer that the lion would have killed, and then we ate them, and we gave them to our kids so they could eat them. And when the person next to us gave us a look we didn't like, if we thought we could get away with it, we'd fucking kill him too. This happy, hippie, woo-woo, we all love each other, the real truth is love and light. There might be a planet out there, guys. There might be a fucking space-time out there. There might be a reality. There's a planet that is not yin and yang. It's just white. It's just a white circle. That doesn't have the darkness. It might be all pure. It might be all pure love, right? Like everyone there's just like high on MDMA, just smiling. You know what? Those motherfuckers are just sitting there in fucking love comas, getting fat, waiting for the fucking sun to explode. There's nothing happening there. There's nothing to push against. We didn't We didn't do all of this because we're these benevolent, loving, kind, caring, fluffy creatures. None of this is probably a surprise to most of you guys. You guys probably always seen reality this way, but I haven't. At certain times, some of these concepts have been said to me, but until this morning, until last night, I've kind of had a filter on reality my whole life, which is we're all doing our best. And ultimately, humanity is good. I mean, this dude, Richard Dawkins, wrote this book called Enlightenment Now, I think. And it's not about spiritual enlightenment. It's about, since the age of enlightenment, he's done all these metrics. You've found all these metrics for how you would judge whether or not society's gotten better or worse, like war, slavery, sex offending, torture, all the different things. And apart from the environment, every single one of those domains, and not just in the Western world, not just in the West, but all across the world, all of those different domains, there's less prejudice, there's less child abuse, there's less rape, there's less spousal murder, there's less all this stuff. We have become more progressive, we have become more generous, we take better care of our population, the poorest, that have social welfare system, he just shows a trajectory based on data, how we are getting better and better and better. And I have believed that and told that story. I mean, at times in my life, I have gotten so depressed about how we treat animals. I have gotten so depressed about Israel, Palestine. I have gotten so depressed about multiple different fucking military conflicts and fucking civil wars in Africa and Asia. Like, it's not like I've been this blind optimist, but so much of my life, I have given us humans the benefit of the doubt. And it's very, very hard for me to turn my back on anyone and say someone's a lost cause. I tend to say, well, you can't blame people for being unconscious. They've got their conditioning and they're just playing it out. And, hopefully something will come into their life to wake them up a little bit. But it's not true. Not everyone is doing their best. And that's funny because that's something I've said my whole life. People say, we're doing our best. I don't think they're doing their best. I mean, I said to you guys in another episode, you might think you're not doing your best, but you are. I gave this nice little pep talk. And I don't take that back. There can be things that seem on the surface of it to be incompatible or, but that actually both things can be true. The truth is, it takes a fucking choice, guys. It takes a fucking commitment. Are you going to be generous? Or are you only going to be generous when it suits you? Are you going to complain about how you can't trust anyone? Or are you going to be trustworthy? I'm the only one I know who keeps his promises. I'm the only one I know who really cares about others. Well, are you? You really keep your fucking promises, man? You really care about others? I realized this morning, it's like I've spent my whole life with one fucking arm tied behind my back. Because I thought we were all competing to be the nicest guy. I thought we were all competing to be the most generous guy, the most caring, the most loving, the most emotionally available, the most selfless. I thought that was the game we were playing. But a lot of people aren't playing that game. It's just been me. That's just been me because of my wounding. I'm no less narcissistic than any other cunt. I haven't been playing that game because I'm a better person. I just thought that was how I was going to win. Other people are playing a game called we're in a fight and I'll do whatever the fuck it takes to win. And I don't mean people I have conflict with. I even mean people who are my friends and my loved ones. They are literally trying to win. Win a fight that I didn't even know we were having. You see, I've been signaling to people my whole life that they can take advantage of me. My whole life. Not only have I been attracting those people in, I've been calling them in. But then once they're in, there's a conversation going on beneath every conversation. And in that conversation, beneath the conversation, I've been telling them, you can do whatever the fuck you want to me. And I will tolerate it, and I will put up with it. Because my dad left when I was fucking 5, said he never wanted to see me again. And again, my mum was doing the best she could with the traits she had and what she came through with, etc., etc. But I don't ever remember her apologizing to me, really. Certainly never apologizing to me first. If we had a rupture, I went back to her and apologized, even if I didn't think I was wrong. So my whole life, even as a therapist, and even teaching people about boundaries and how important it is to have healthy boundaries, blah, 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 I have seen boundaries through a really distorted lens. I have never had any boundaries. I've respected other people's boundaries. I'm really good at respecting other people's boundaries, but I've never had any. I've actually thought, not just subconsciously, I've actually thought this consciously, boundaries are just walls, and I don't want walls between me and other people. I don't want boundaries. And I have had this Christ complex, this God, this Savior complex, where I have thought I am so powerful and so full of love and light that I can tolerate any form of mistreatment. I am so full of love and light that I can take any amount of mistreatment and meet it with generosity and kindness and forgiveness and turn the other cheek. And I have seldom in my entire life held a boundary with anybody. Even people who I didn't need anything from or didn't want anything from and didn't even necessarily enjoy or like in my life. Even those people, if they mistreated me and were bad to me, I would turn the other cheek and practice kindness with them, because I thought I shouldn't just tolerate this from people who I want love and affection from, or who I want to be in my band, or who I want to be my friend. I should even give this to the least of us, you know. I should be an example, and I should treat those ones who I don't particularly like with the same level of generosity as I treat these ones. Because otherwise I'm just like being a manipulative cunt trying to get shit out of people. And my whole life, people consciously or unconsciously have known that I don't have boundaries, and they can get away with fucking pretty much anything with me. And a lot of them have. And you guys will think, oh, again, is that low self-esteem? Is that him not valuing himself? Nah, it's not low self-esteem. I've got incredible self-esteem. And I really value myself. I love myself. I've got so many qualities, and I can speak to them confidently. It doesn't make me feel all fucking ashamed or fucking well. I mean, you know. It's not the easiest topic to talk about the things I'm good at, but it's not, it's, you know, it's not too hard. I am such a positive person that even though at times with this kind of curse, which by the way, I did a shamanic journeying workshop yesterday. No psychedelics, no plant medicines, just breath and drum. Did a shamanic journeying workshop yesterday. She guided me to the higher worlds to ask a deity to come and teach me a spell that I'd been under that had been holding me back. And guess what deity came? I mean, like most people are like, you know, they're seeing like mythical creatures. But she had said that in the upper world, that's where the deities are. Guess who came to me? I swear to God. Because with me with this shit, if I'm not on psychedelics, I kind of feel like I'm imagining it all. I'm like, is this real? And this is just my mind generating it? There's all this doubt, all this skepticism, like it's not easy for me to fucking, even on psychedelics, I actually have that exact same level of skepticism. Is this really God or is this my brain on drugs? Blah, 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 blah. All this doubt. But anyway, I do the visualization. I think, yeah, okay, I've gotten through the cloud layer. I've gotten through the density layer. Am I in the upper world? Am I in the upper world? Am I in the upper world? I'm kind of getting a yes. Okay, is there some deity that's going to take me to some place where I'm going to find out? Is there some, spirit guide or some power animal or something that's going to take me to this lesson to find this spell? And fucking Ram Dass walks up, man. My fucking man, Ram Dass walks up. He goes, yeah, Tommy, welcome, man. Asked him 3 times, is that really you? Are you here to help? It's really me. And he took me, and he showed me. And I was like, this lesson, what? This spell that I'm not whole? I already know this one. This can't be the spell, Ram Dass. I've been working on this my whole life, and I'm sure as hell been working on it for the last 4 months. Is this really? This is the obvious lesson. He goes, yeah, Tommy. This is the spell. This is the spell that's been blinding you and been driving you. This is the spell that we need to heal. And so we did this shamanic healing thing on it. And we did so many different things yesterday that I didn't even think about it again. I then went and had to play a gig, went and played a gig that night, came back, had that realization, all those realizations last night, which is the last episode. And then this morning, after 4 hours sleep. Funny that I'm doing podcasts for the first time, and it's the first time I've had a 4 hour sleep. And I did the first podcast before I'd had the 4 hour sleep. It was like something in me new, right? And I'm out walking, and I'm like, oh shit. I had all those realizations last night about how I give myself away. And I tell the universe and I tell the people in my life that I'm disposable, and people do dispose of me. And all of that came, because I'm not whole. I'm not whole. I'm not good enough. I'm not whole. I need someone else to make me whole. I need this father that I never had to make me whole. I need this love that I never got. I need to get it from someone else. I need to get it from my friends. I need to get it from a partner. I need to get it from a fucking potential podcast audience. I need something to make me whole because I'm not enough. And that day I did some deep fucking work yesterday. This journeying work, I did some deep fucking work. And last night, like I told you, I came back and I sent some messages. I sent some messages saying I would rather be alone than have to fucking keep groveling for the rest of my life. Keep begging for crumbs of affection, crumbs of validation. Like I ain't good enough to sit at the fucking table, man. Main course? Oh, no, I'm good. You want some dessert, Tommy? Oh, no, I'm good. I'll take the crumbs. I'll take the fucking crumbs from your boots, man. And this driving fucking force of anxiety. If I stand up for myself, if I say I'd actually like a little piece of pie, ooh, I might lose it all. I might lose it all. I might lose a relationship. I might lose a friendship. I might be cast out. And I'm not whole. I can't afford to lose a relationship. I can't afford to lose my friend group. I can't afford to be cast out. I can't afford to have someone who I don't even like, who's not even a friend, think badly of me. I can't afford anyone to not like me because I'm not fucking whole. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm whole now. I'm fucking whole now. And if you don't want to spend time with me, you don't have to fucking spend time with me. You want a friendship that's some kind of superficial, mild friendship that doesn't have any real intimacy, where we don't actually share each other's hearts and souls? You want some friendship like that? That's cool, you can have a friendship like that. But not with me. I don't want that kind of friendship with anybody. If that's the kind of friendship you have to offer. If you have the kind of relationship to offer me where when things are good, we're friends, and when things are not good, you just fuck off, I tell you what, you just fuck off now for me. You just fuck off now for me. I don't need those kind of friendships. I don't need that in my life. My whole life I thought I needed that in my life. It's taken me to today. I'll be fucking 45 in like 4 months or some shit. Taking me to this fucking moment to realize I don't need it. And Sophia, that little girl inside of me who's real anxious, she's been kicking up a fuss. She's been saying, hold on, Tommy, hold on. And I said, sweetheart, can you let me look after you, darling? Can you let me take care of you, please? She said, that's all I've ever wanted. I said, sweet. Well, honey, you need to get in the back seat. You need to get in the back seat and I'm going to drive. I'm going to love you and I'm going to take care of you and I'm going to look after you, but you cannot drive this car anymore, Sophia. This world, kindness and love, acts of true kindness and love are not beautiful, are not amazing, are not magical in spite of the fact that we live in a world that is this fucking violent and brutal. True acts of kindness, true acts of love are profound and magical and meaningful exactly because we live in a world like this. I've always been love, man. I've always been love. And now I'm going to call in love. I'm going to call in people who know how to love, who want to love. I'm not closing my heart. I'm not changing my whakapapa. I'm just changing how I'm going to allow myself to be treated. And if it means I'm lonely as fuck, I'll be lonely as fuck. But I think once I clear that space and start creating new communities and new people and new connections, I have a suspicion I'm not going to be lonely as fuck for that long. And I can tolerate a little bit of lonely. God knows I've been dealing with it a lot this year. I'm so grateful to the people in my life. I'm so grateful to the people in my life who've been in my life all along. Not many of them were users or abusers. Not many of them were ungenerous people who took advantage. Because I'm such a positive person, I mainly manifested and invited really positive, beautiful, wonderful people into my life. I'm very lucky. This isn't a fuck you to any friends past or present, partners past or present, not at all. I'm so fucking lucky to have had the life I have. In a planet like this, with a fucking trajectory of human history like where we've come from. The amount of trauma and abuse and mistreatment that I've experienced and neglect I've experienced is so light. I am fucking so grateful. But none of us come out unscathed. And I'm making new choices moving forward. I'll keep you guys informed about how all that shit goes. My battery thing is about to die. I'll try and do a freestyle, but it's probably going to run out. Don't you come on, wondering what your time will say. It's a documentary. I'ma write these rhymes, I write these rhymes for me. I can do it free, I can come with glee, I can do it abundantly and joyously. But I'ma hold my motherfucking boundary. Yeah. Will the first be last? I don't know. I won't be obsequious no more. I ain't gonna beg for the crumbs from your table. I'm I'ma gonna stand, shining my light. I'ma be bright and holding up right. You do what you wanna do, man. I don't need the rest, come for the high. I don't need the rest, some for you die. I don't need to beg permission for I to be alive. To be alive. To be alive. Let's be alive, people. I really think we probably only got one fucking life. Let's live this life.